choose this.
Okay, so let's talk about what you had to read today. Samuel, scoot back, please. Please get your Brainology packet, Samuel. Okay, so let's just talk about the first section that we talked about that I showed you first, okay? Did you get anything else from that when you read it yourself? Pretty much the same thing that I got, like you can make connections with your brain, right? You are the ones that can make it stronger. You got to sit on your pockets, please. Sit on your pockets. Okay, so you can make it stronger, and those little connections, like we talk about making connections with things, that actually happens, okay? Let's talk about number 2. So what was the big idea of number 2? It says my picture represents the branches or dendrites growing between brain cells because, what did you put, Haley, for number 2?
Because scientists studied animals' brains, and they said that some animals that have toys, like other animals, connect with other animals, and they know more than the other animals that don't have any toys or
They're in the cage.
Yeah, the ones in the cages. So Karen and I were talking about how number 2 and 3 kind of went together. I think for number 2, what it really wanted you to look at, it was kind of confusing. I think it really wanted you to look at this picture here. So everybody turn to this. Like right under the number 2, there's a picture and it says axon and dendrites. So what is it saying in relation to those dendrites? Haley, what do you think, like, can you tie it back to those little things in your brain? Did it go into depth with that?
kind of, and then probably because that living with other animals helps them learn more.
Okay, so were we saying like the dendrites can get stronger? What is it about those dendrites? What are those? Look at that. Look at that picture there. What do you think, Brian? They're like attached? Okay, where are they? Where are dendrites? In your brain, right? And they look like little tree branches. You see that? It's like the axon is the root, and then the dendrites look like they spread out. What do you think their purpose is, Blake? What do you think the purpose of the dendrites is? Or are?
The dendrites, like it said on the.
Hey, Blake. You let him get out of that. What do you think, Blake? What do you think about those dendrites? So those look like little branches coming out. What do you think your brain looks like if you don't use it? More branches or less branches? Less branches, right? So anybody have anything else to say about that number 2? About the dendrites and axon? Yeah.
Number 2, I drew a picture of
Interesting. I wonder why you drew a tree, Weston. Explain why you drew a tree. Made you think of a tree? Interesting. And I think it's really good for you to think of dendrites and that the axon as a tree. So it all starts in one place and it branches off when you make connections. Okay? Let's form a circle here really quickly and quietly. Okay? Be thinking. Anybody have anything else to share about number 2? Haley?
maybe,
Scrunch together here.
maybe the dendrites like connect to like the things that talks about like brain stuff. No, like
The parts of the brain?
yeah.
So maybe those dendrites connect to like specific parts, or you think they connect all of it?
Right here it says the typical nervous system, and like right here it goes up to one of the things makes it work. And so that's why if you're using it at the same time, it kind of makes it hurt and it's making it go faster.
Yeah, we were talking about that, right? You said Why, when you're like working really hard, does your brain hurt like over here, right? Yeah, that's an interesting idea, Haley. I bet you're right. I bet those dendrites are how we pass information and connect things. Interesting. So let's go back and think about number 3 now. And that one was asking you about those animals in cages and looking at that picture, right? So that little picture on page 8, look at that at the very top. It shows you a picture of animals in cages, their brains, and it shows you a picture of animals playing. What do you notice there? Damien, what do you notice? Tell them. Damien says, which one? The animals that are playing have more stuff